Good morning, everyone. Yesterday was the full moon / lunar eclipse. And I talked about that on Monday. We did a blended practice where we combined both the moon salutation and sun salutation elements together. We're going back on Wednesday to our Ashtanga format, so there will be a lot of movement in this class. Feel free to modify at any point in time if you need to. You can also amp it up at certain times. For instance, if we're in the B sun salutation and we're stepping up, if you wanted to bring a little more in, you could lift one leg up before taking it through. And then if you wanted to amp up the Vinyasa at all, you could always take flying plank, flying chaturanga, and then land in up dog. So that's just a way you can step it up a little bit if you feel the need. Sometimes that full moon energy does give us that extra boost of energy. However, we need to be cautious with this. Because if we get that boost of energy, we need to make sure that we're still staying mindful and still practicing that compassion. For today's Dharma talk, one thing that I wanted to bring up is that when you look at the yogic philosophy, it's about, especially the 8-1 path, it's about learning self-discipline and learning self-control. How can we learn to be disciplined? How can we learn to control our thoughts, our words, our actions? And the point of this being so that we're living happier, healthier lives, and that we're reducing any suffering with others or in the world from our behavior. So go ahead and start on your back. And I would suggest, you could either do corpse pose or you can do a backhand if you feel like you need a heart opener. It doesn't matter which. If you're determining that you're just going to lay on your back, then I would ask you to find a comfortable position for your arms to reside in. Maybe they feel good beside you. Maybe you want them very broad to open chest. Maybe you want them overhead to lengthen your back. Maybe you enjoy the hands resting on the belly to feel the movement of the breath below. So once you've determined how you want to start, close your eyes. Now, when we typically go through the yamas and the niyamas, which are the first couple steps of the 8-1 path of yoga, we often mention it in Sanskrit terms. And we often mention it in the terms like do not lie, do not steal, do not hoard, do no harm. But I found this little excerpt the other day that talked about it in more of a positive light, and I wanted to share it. The philosophy is asking us whether or not we have the ability to be less reactive. The philosophy is asking us to be kind, to stay true to ourselves, to practice generosity, to use our energy wisely, understanding that sometimes less is more, taking care of ourselves and our environment, choosing how to respond in a calm manner, cultivating and developing self-discipline, studying ourselves so that we truly know ourselves, and trusting in a higher power. Another way of reviewing those first couple steps. And those first couple steps in the past were meant to be implemented and studied before one even went into asana. Because asana is the third step. So try to apply these principles not only here on the mat, but extending these principles off the mat so that you're truly living and being yoga and not just doing it here on the mat. Let's take 3 deep breaths. See how much of a tidal wave you can create as your inner awareness surfs the wave of the breath from the belly to the chest and back down. See how much prana you can infuse your lungs with. And then on your next in-breath, go ahead and bend your knees. Hug them in. Rock and roll on your back from side to side. And then roll over to one. And we're going to come all the way up together, right on into it. So go ahead and come to the top portion of your mat. Spread out your toes. I had a new person in class last night, and she was like, but I don't know how to spread my toes. I'm like, keep telling your brain to do it, and eventually it will happen. Hands to prayer position at the heart. Inhale, circle the arms wide and overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward and down to your Uttanasana. Inhale, we're propping up halfway. Hands can slide up the legs. Exhale, we're stepping down the mat, rocking forward and lowering to chaturanga. Hover and wait for your in-breath to lift you. Allow the out-breath to take you into downward facing dog. Once in downward facing dog, focus on the foundation of your hands and feet first. Secondly, you want to power up and out of your wrists, lengthening through the vertebrae, even if it means you need to bend your knees. Deep breaths in and out through the nose, if your nasal passages are clear. On your next inhale, let's establish the feet at the top of the mat. Come to Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, soar all the way up. And exhale, hands return to the heart. A few more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, create some space. And exhale, keep some space between you and the earth as you drop and cut. Inhale, balloon the heart up. Exhale, draw in through the navel to roll back. Let your head just rest between the arms. Allow your eyes to focus on one spot, maybe between the feet. Maintain the control of your breath. That's part of the self-discipline. That's part of the self-control. Inhale, feet land at the top of the mat, however you want to arrive, but opening up the heart when you do. And then exhale, drape down. Inhale, press down through the feet, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, hands come down to the heart. All right, doing a couple more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, take chaturanga. You can always bounce back into the pose versus stepping back through plank. If chaturanga is a lot for you today, you can always modify and sink your knees. Now consider where we're sending the energy. even though the eyes are set on the floor, we're actually trying to send the energy up towards our seat. Smooth, even breaths. And then inhale, let's bring it to Ardha Uttanasana at the top of the mat. Exhale, close into self. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's continue. Inhale. Expand and exhale. Release. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold and breathe. Study thyself to know thyself. Another piece that comes into this is being able to practice free will, free choice. Because the ultimate goal in yoga is freedom. Are you giving yourself that freedom? Are you giving others that freedom? Inhale, let's come to the top of the mat and open the heart. Exhale, full release. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Now we're going to move into the B series. So inhale, bend the knees, sit back with your hips, reach the arms up. Now pause here just a moment. We can get pretty heavy in the lower body. So I want you to emphasize pulling up through your side body, through your side traps, through the outer fingertips, and feel the difference there. Good. Exhale, tip forward over straight legs. Inhale, rock up. Exhale, chaturanga, that low push up. Inhale to the back bend. And exhale to the inversion. Right foot steps through, back heel settles down. We're lifting the arms to warrior one. Make sure your back foot's really glued down, your back thigh spinning forward, front thigh rolling open, and really grounding that front big toe. Gazing straight ahead. Exhale, hands down, step back, and flip. The left foot's gonna step through, back heel lowers. Once the foundation is set, it's safe to come up. Find your balance, find your steadiness, set your gaze. Exhale, hands down. Continue to Vinyasa. Pausing here, investing in your breath, because investing in your breath is investing in yourself. Breathing in a conscious way should be a self-care regimen. And it's free. Inhale, plant the feet at the top of the mat. Look out with your eyes. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms sweep up. Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, moving on. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, chaturanga, that low push. Again, wait for the inhale to rise. Allow the exhale to encourage you to create down dog. Right foot steps through again. This time in warrior one, when you come up, check your feet, check your stance, and we're gonna change the arms. So with your arms framing your face right now, notice how the upper back changes when you roll the pinkies in and thumbs out. Notice the broadness in your back. I like to think of it as sprouting wings. Exhale, hands down. Continue to flow. Once in down dog, left foot's gonna step forward. Coming up, Virabhadrasana 1. And then creating that different shoulder action. Rolling the pinkies in towards the temples and thumbs spin out. Exhale, hands down. Continue. Let your breath be your focus after you set yourself up in the position. The pranayama is the fourth step following the asana. Inhale, feet land at the top of the mat. Create some space. Exhale, let go. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands up hard. All right, we're doing one more. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, however you want to get there. In and out. All right, foot steps forward, warrior one. This time in warrior one, we're going to take exalted to humble. So let's reach up to the side body like we were doing in Utkatasana, except this time, palms together, head back. This is called Hasta Drishti when we look towards the hands. Exhale, hand circle behind the back. Lace the fingers up, roll the shoulders back. If you need to be here, be here. If you can handle the weight in the front knee, go ahead and descend and humble the warrior. Stay firmly planted in your back foot. Tuck the right hip in just a skosh. In, lift your head halfway. Exhale, release your hands, spin off the back heel, right foot plank. Continue to flow. Left foot next. Virabhadrasana 1. Now, if it strains your shoulders or neck to do exalted, you can leave it out and just be here. Otherwise, see if you can explore. This other variation. Affirming, I attune myself to the will of higher power. Exhale, hands release. Fingers lace behind. Shoulders back, heart up. Exhale, potentially hinging to humble the warrior. Tuck the left hip in. Knuckles reaching up. Head bowing down. In and halfway up. Just release the hands. Separating the left foot to plank. And then going through this last vinyasa for now. Holding and breathing in downward facing dog. Well, just try this out with me. Lift your head up, look towards your hands, bend your knees.
Give a little buoyancy to the hips, see if it's possible to bring the feet forward without a strong flop. Just a light, yes, light touch. Good, straighten out the legs, lift halfway up. Exhale, release down. Inhale, Utkatasana. And exhale, hands to heart. All right, we're gonna separate the feet, hands to the hips. Shoulders roll back, create a little back bend. Exhale, hinge from the hips. You're gonna bring the first 2 fingers around each big toe. And then you're gonna fly the elbows forward and away from your shins and bow the head in. Now, when you bow the head in, it's okay to slightly tuck the chin towards the chest, because traditionally we look towards the navel. And just see how it feels. Notice when you fan your arms out, it broadens the chest, it opens the heart, creating more space for the lungs to be able to expand. Last one. And then slide your hands up to your hips or waist. Come all the way up. Feet together. All right, now if this half of the room wants to turn to the center, if you guys want to turn to the center, you just won't be mirroring each other. The feet are really wide apart. Separate your arms out, 5-point star. Roll your right foot 90 degrees. Lengthen out over the leg. Windmill down to triangle. So the pinnacle of the pose for down dog was the seat. The pinnacle of this pose is the top hand. The energy is always being directed somewhere in these positions. Inhale, draw up. Turn your right foot in. Turn your left foot out. Good, stretch over that side. Windmill down to Trikonasana. I heard this podcast the other day, and they were talking about the sacred geometry of the triangle. And they said, you know, you could look at one edge or corner being the feminine, one edge or corner being the masculine, and then the pinnacle being your individuality, because we all have a blend of both. Inhale, gently come up. Exhale, relax your arms. Turn your left foot in. Turn your right foot out. Okay, now this is important. That back foot's not prepared yet. And we want to protect this back knee. So we need to hop the back foot over and turn the toes in like 45 degrees so that we can square the hips. That's it. Now lift your left arm. As you exhale, you're bringing yourself over the right leg, sending the hand to the leg, to a block, to the inside or outside of the foot, twisting through the vertebrae and flying the right hand overhead, unless you prefer keeping it at your hip. Revolving triangle pose. Make sure there's length in the spine. Exhale, lower the right hand. Pressurize the right foot to slowly come up. You got it. Take your time. Melissa, you're rocking it. All right, left foot turns. She's kind of like from knee surgery. She's just like flying through all this. Right foot needs to offset. Toes turn in about 45 degrees. If 45 degrees, 90 degrees throws you off mentally, just look, analyze, and follow. Follow the yogi. Reach the right arm up. Exhale, pour down. As I was saying that instruction, I could hear some memory recall in my mind of teaching others how to teach yoga. And some of them would be like, 90 degrees, 45 degrees. I don't do math. I didn't do well in this. And I'm like, well, this is your chance to learn. But again, you can just follow the yogi. Where's your breath? Sometimes when we get contorted in these type of positions, it gets caught, it gets trapped. So keep it rolling. And then exhale over the left hand, pressurize the left foot, safely float your hands up. And rise. Good, turn your feet. All right, we're gonna redistribute the feet. Separate the arms wide like we started with. Rotate your right foot 90 degrees, lunge that knee. Prop onto it with your right elbow and send your left arm all the way across your knee. Power down through your outer heel of that back foot and reach long through your left side body. Now, traditionally in this pose, I see Jay doing it, is leaning the head back and looking up towards that left arm and hand. Obviously, that doesn't work for everyone, but that's where the energy is going here in this pose. Good, inhale, come out of side angle, lift the right arm, turn the right foot, rotate your left foot, lunge the knee. Go ahead and prop onto it, sail the right arm up and over. Look down quickly at your left knee, make sure it's stacked over the ankle and it's pointed towards the center of your foot. Really ground to the outer edge of your back foot. Feel that energy line shooting through the right side body. Recognizing you are a fountain of boundless energy and strength. Inhale, come up. All right, relax your arms, turn the left foot in, turn the right foot out. You're gonna spin off the back heel. We're gonna try something different today. We're gonna take the left arm to the outside of that right thigh and see if we can carry the right arm up and back. You're pressing the knee into the arm instead of shoving the knee with the arm. Equalize that pressure. If this doesn't work for you, find another way to do revolving side angle. Exhale, let's come out. Plant the back foot, safely come up. Right foot turns in, left foot turns out. When you're ready, lunge the left knee, spiral onto the ball of the back foot. See if the right arm can extend to the outside of your left thigh, reaching and radiating the left arm up and back. This is just one variation. Pick another if you prefer another. Yogi's choice. That's exercising your free will, your free choice. Exhale, unwind. Bring the hands to the floor. Spiral the feet so they're square and fold into Prasarita Padottanasana. Now you are exercising your arms here. The hands are shoulder distance apart. Really press down through the mound of your thumb, and that will bring the arms closer together. That's going to help to activate your shoulders and your triceps. Now there's 4 variations we typically do here. We're going to do the A, and then we're going to do a one that we don't normally do. And that's going to be walking the hands out in front, pressing back away from the hands like a wide stance, downward facing dog. Walk the hands in, bring it up to stand. Turn your foot that's going to face the front of the room and then step up. Let's see if we're getting cramped. So walk it out if you need to. All right, right foot back. Square your hips. All right, we're going to do something a little different today. see if you can take your right hand behind your back and potentially do a half namaste. See if that's possible. If not, just thread your arm like this, if that hurts your hand. All right, now, go ahead and lift the left arm up. And then exhale, you're gonna slowly hinge. And you can pause halfway if you need to. You can also continue your descent. And you can obviously bow. Inhale, come halfway up. Continue to pull up, up, up till the spine's erect. And then bring this hand in front of the heart, half namaste. Bring the other hand around to join. Lunge into that front knee, lean forward and step up. All right, left foot steps back. All right, this time, left hand can thread to the sacrum or that half namaste. So you're on that pinky side of the hand, right at the spine. Right arm reaches high. Exhale, pour down. Again, you can stay standing. You can hinge forward. You can stop halfway, or you can bow, exercising your free will, your free choice. It's a good theme on election week, isn't it? Doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter if you vote at all. Free will, free choice. Inhale halfway up. And then pressurize the feet. Slowly come back up. Exhale, right hand to half namaste at the heart. Left hand around to join. Lunge the knee, lean forward, and step up. Okay, ready to balance. When you're ready, left hand to the hip. Stack and stand on the left side. First option, hold your right knee. Second option, tie the toe, stretch it out. This is A. Let's take it to D, hand to the hip. Right leg out. Reaching through the ball of the foot. All right. Back and stand on the right side. Uplift the left knee. Maybe this is where you want to stay for Pada A. Maybe you want to tie the foot and stretch it out. Concentrate. Breathe. Take it to D. And release. Shift your weight to the left side again. Pick up the right knee, tag it with your hand, and then open the Pada B. Turn the knee back, then set the foot down. Right hand to waist. Shift your weight. Catch your left knee with your hand. And then open the knee to the side. Bring the knee back. And release. All right, we're gonna keep going. Hands to prayer. Inhale, arms circle up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, roll it back. All right, from here, we're gonna bring it through. So if you wanna bounce forward, you can. If you need to lower to your knees to table, then swing the legs out, you can. Yogi's choice. Legs eventually straighten out. Arms fly up. Toes spread out. Exhale, hold. Ashtanga. So we're trying to shine the heart out towards the feet. Versus hiding the heart away like this. Hands like that. Knees bent. Inhale, push up. Reverse tabletop. So just like a tabletop where we don't want to dip or sway the low back, we're trying not to dip the belly here. So keep the pelvis lifting, the belly rising. And then exhale, slow drop. Good, left leg forward. Right arm's gonna reach out to the inside of that front knee. And then you're gonna wrap your arm in front and around to bind it. The left arm reaches, same approach. And then reach, again, the heart towards the left foot. If that strains your neck, so look out towards your toes, it's okay to look down towards your knee instead. Remember, you're trying to know yourself, to discover what is best for you. Because the rules of alignment may not apply to you. Inhale, slowly come up. Bring that right foot around. Lift the arms overhead. Exhale, Janu Shirshasana. You're slightly tilting your right ribs towards the straight leg. Inhale, let's draw up. Lift your right knee. Determine if you want the foot to stay there or to cross over. Either way is fine. And then we have a tendency when we do that to round the back. So really invest again in straightening up the shaft of the spine. And then spin to the right. Your left arm can poke around the knee. Your right hand can sink to the floor behind you. Exhale one more. Straighten out the right leg. Bend your left knee. Take that left arm up and over to the inside of it. Spin the hand, twist the arm so it can wrap. And then right arm extends before it wraps. See what's possible here. Remembering we're practicing a kind, compassionate manner. My sister that's been going through breast cancer this year, she just ended her
radiation, but she didn't know she was gonna be getting her radiation. The radiation had her skin so blistered and so sore. And she was just continuing to go through it, you know, and the doctors were saying, you can continue to go or you can take a little break. And she was like, no, I'm getting it done. I don't want to take a break. I want this over. And they had scheduled her for 30. Yesterday, or last week, they told her, we're going to stop at 25 since you're not taking a break. Yesterday was 24. And the doctor came in and patted her and says, you're done. Your body's done. We're going to let your body heal now. So she got to ring the bell and she was just like so overjoyed, right? So overjoyed, it's done. There was a point in me telling you that. I digressed. No, I can't remember. It had to be, oh, the kindness and compassion. The doctor had enough kindness and compassion looking at her body to say, you're done. It's time to heal. Inhale, come up. That was it. All right. Exhale. Janu Shirshasana, slightly turning the left rib cage over towards that straight line. So it's so nice when we see that kind, compassionate nature from another, but how often do we bring it home to ourselves? It's really important. Inhale, let's draw it. Now let's look that back. Then determine here, do you want it to be inside or outside? And then I always around here, I know I'm not alone because I see other people doing it. So really lift, then twist. There's an, I don't remember if it's Chinese or Japanese parable. It says you're only as young and as healthy as your back. And I love how yoga centers around the back and takes our spines in all 6 directions. So even if you forget yoga and don't come back to class, just remember, as you continue to go through your days, make sure you're taking your spine 6 directions. Exhale, unwind from that. All right. We could go back into the flow, but so we're gonna instead hold the legs up and flex the feet. Now, I want you to invest in your back here too, because I know we're leaning back, but to do that, you lift the breastbone and let your shoulder stay down away from your ears. See if you can feel that. And then if you want to release your hands, you can. This is our Navasana boat. And we're going to change up this practice. So we're going to bring the feet together, knees apart, lift up energetically, exhale, fold. Keep the spine long so that you really get the effect in the inner thighs and hips. Slowly back up. All right, we're bringing the knees back together. Taking the hands up underneath the knees and lifting the feet. Lifting the breastbone, shoulders down the back. Feel free to extend the arms. If you want to try to extend the legs. Exhale, release the heels. You're going to grab your feet or tag the big toes and see if it's possible to elevate the legs up and down. you can't, that's okay, just do another Navasana. Now here we've got some space between the two halves. Feel free to stay here, or feel free to try to close in a little more. Bending the arms, bringing the legs a little closer to the face, which is hard to do without rounding the back. And now separate your feet. And let go a little bit of the legs. Keeping the spine the same. Vista Planasana. And then release the feet and then sail out over them. So your hands can ground your thighs, shins, or tap the tops of the feet. You can also have the hands here as a brace. Especially if you feel like it's going to take you too far. Okay, Cindy's not here today. So you guys get to choose the inversion. We could do bridge poses to wheel. We could do shoulder stands and plow to fish. Or we could go back and work on headstands, even though she's not here. What's your preference for inverting today? Bridge. Bridge? Yes, sound good? Maybe? Okay.
Do wheel, but
You what?
I can't do wheel.
You don't have to do wheel. Yeah, wheel's a lot. I'm getting where I don't even have to wheel anymore. It just hurts. I've got a degenerative disc now. It's not the same in my 20s. I can't do it in my 40s. I can do it, but it hurts, so why do it? All right, come on. We'll do bridges. Yes, and please don't feel like you have to go to wheel. That's a big pose. I'm shedding all over the place here. Okay. Down to your back with your knees bent. Now, if you just want to take it easy and do supported bridge, you can just tuck, lift, put a block there, and just leave out my instruction. But if you want it to be active, let's all set up ankles under the knees, palms grounded beside your hips. Now go ahead and roll the outer arms towards the floor and feel the cavity of the chest lift. Then go ahead and press the feet down into the floor, lift thighs, hips, abdomen, chest, Setu Bandhasana. Now, I guarantee you, your big toes may want to peel away from the floor. That will cause your knees to be out. So stay pressing down on the mount of the big toe to keep the knees narrow. If you want to activate the shoulders, roll to one shoulder to tuck the other. And then roll to that shoulder you tucked in order to scoop the other shoulder under. And you might be able to lace your hands and press the pinkies towards the floor. Let your knees come forward in my direction and let your chest puff up towards your chin. And breathe. If you feel inspired to do will, I'm not doing it today, but you certainly can. Yogi's choice, free will here. You can flip your hands over the shoulders. You can press into your hands, straighten the arms, and lift the head off the floor. On your out breath, if you're in wheel, tuck the chin, roll back down. If you're in bridge, slide your hands apart and roll down one vertebra at a time. Tuck your knees. Casual hold on the knees, remembering that concept. Sometimes less is more. I started this with my child a couple years ago Christmas. Instead of getting like a whole bunch of gifts, right? I said, let's narrow it down to 4. And I learned it from one of you guys, by the way. It was someone from our yoga community. They had told me this before the pandemic hit. They said, we give our kids 4 gifts: something you need, something you want, something to wear, and something to read. And then, of course, the stockings can have all kinds of goodies in it. And as a teenager, I was afraid I was going to get a lot of pushback, but he actually totally embraced it. And he loves that idea. Sometimes less is more. Let's go ahead and prepare for Shavasana. Now, legs at the wall is something that I would suggest if you've had a lack of sleep with this eclipse and full moon. So if you've been sleep deprived, you've been sleep deprived. Why don't you go to the wall? Do you remember how to get in, or do you need me to instruct you how to get in? You need instructions? Okay. I'm gonna pull my mat around to give you a visual. Hopefully you guys can see this online. So basically what you do is you get your mat to the wall. You get in a side fetal position with your seat there to the surface. And you just roll back and lift the legs up. Usually that works. However, if you find your hamstrings are not very happy and your knees are wanting to bend, you may want to scoot or shimmy back just a tiny bit away from the wall. And of course, close and rest your eyes. I'm gonna let you bask in some stillness and silence for today's Shavasana. My only request is that you avoid allowing your mind to be out of control, because this practice is about self-discipline and self-control. So if your mind starts wandering, bring it back to the present moment, to this room, to your body, to your breath. slowly begin to just observe your breath before gaining control over it once more. Perhaps noticing the difference you feel now that you've rested a bit after all the mindful motion. Hopefully feeling more whole, complete, more content. If your legs are up the wall, slide them down. If you're on your back, hug your knees in. Roll over to one side of your body, come up for a seat so that we can end our practice. Joining your hands together. We all reap the rewards of this practice. And may we all continue to shine our light into the world. May we all be the change that we want to see in the world. The light in me honors and bows to the radiant light in each of you. Stay.